Hi, girlies. Welcome to Book Please Podcast. It's Alina here.
Hey guys, it's Amanda.
How are you doing, my queen?
Good, no complaints. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like I need to declare dog mom guilt a thing because I think about Cash. He's had a day today, my little son, and I've been working all day and now I'm here and I just am like, oh my God, the poor thing.
Oh, you're better than me. Whenever I have to leave my man for an hour, I'm like,
your man?
I know.
I'm talking about my dog.
I know, and I'm like, well, I'm like that with my boyfriend.
I'm dead. That's really funny. No, I just feel bad because I'm I've walked him quickly, in and out, and I'm he didn't get to play. And I also feel ever since becoming a dog mom, if I go somewhere and I'm in my car, imagine how mothers feel. I'm oh my God, I have to be careful because my dog is waiting for me to come home and nothing can happen to me.
Your dog has a father. It'll be okay.
Wow. I might be the favorite, but I'm not going to say it, because daddy's watching, but it's okay. I just know how much he needs.
He just had a crazy weekend. I saw you took him to the pool, celebrating birthdays.
My dog lives like a human. So today when he spent a lot of his time inside, even though he's had 10 walks, I still feel guilty. But it's okay. It's okay. We can get into it. But
my dog's being let out in the backyard, and that's it. You're welcome.
But how do you monitor him going to the bathroom and making sure he's
I let you out. You go. You don't. You don't.
Oh my God. I'm examining okay, this looks good. Anyways, whatever. That's fine. Cashy mommy loves you. I'm thinking
dogs
of
are
you.
pets, not children.
Yes, they're children. Don't start that. Cut it. Oh my God, trauma. We're not playing this game. Anyways, let's move on to the first story because if we debate that, I'll be highly upset. There was something super disturbing that just happened. There's a popular streamer who I honestly don't even know of that well. This is bringing him clout, unfortunately, but his name is Tyleel James, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But that's Michael Rainey Jr., also known as the actor who plays Tariq in the Power series, was on his live stream, and these streams have become so popular.
Yes,
they're making so very much money, getting millions of views, but they're a little bit they go kind of haywire because it's just live and you can do whatever. Mm-hmm. So Tyleel had this actor, and Michael Rainey Jr. is not that old too. He's what is he, maybe 20?
Young adult.
Yeah, a young adult. And it's kind of sad because he goes on this stream. He's there, they're having fun. And then Tyleel James, his sister, who looks probably 16 in that video, what would you say? I don't know.
Yeah, she's definitely not grown.
She she's not well.
I was gonna say, well, she's doing
grown shit. She comes out of the corner of the stream and just proceeds to grope. I was gonna say Tariq, Michael Rainey Jr. in the crotch, totally sexually assaulting him,
his facial
grabbing
expression.
Him. I felt I feel like I went pale watching that. He was so uncomfortable, and it was just utter shock on his face.
Oh yeah, if I was a mother and I saw that happen to my kid,
could you imagine? But I just think it's so disturbing how. This is your brother's stream and you come on here and it's so unorganized and so unprofessional and so very sad too, because this kid is trying to make it. He's young. He might be he looks like he's what, 18, 20 himself.
He has a baby face.
He's so young. His sister looks even younger. She comes around the corner of the screen and just starts grabbing on Michael Rainey Jr. like that.
Yeah.
It was so disturbing.
Distasteful, trashy. I was just ugh.
And I feel horrible too for this boy who this is probably a huge deal for him. I mean, I don't know who else he's had on in the past, but to have somebody of the caliber of a power star on your little ass stream that you're doing in your room in your house. Mm-hmm. And then your sister goes and assaults him on live camera, that's insane.
Yeah, it's not watching that. I wouldn't be oh, let me go see what he's streaming, because now this I'm yeah, no way.
Career ending. And he spoke out. I have his statement. Well, both the streamers spoke out and Michael Rainey Jr.
I mean, you also talked about the tables were turned.
Yes.
If it was the opposite,
that was the statement. So first, the streamer said, After the actions that occurred during my stream last night, I would like to sincerely apologize to Michael and his family for what took place. My little sister was completely wrong and out of line. What she did was very inappropriate and unacceptable. I am truly embarrassed and disgusted by her actions. Also, that's her fucking brother. That's just gross to see. I completely respect whatever direction Michael wants to go in this situation. After watching the clip, I was completely taken aback by what she had done. I will take extreme precautions with future streams to avoid similar issues and have banned her from participating in future streams. I do not condone any type of assault.
Yeah, that was well put. I would say, like, it's not his fault.
It's very well put, and I think it was needed because right immediately after, I think he like panicked, and I don't know if he fully saw the gravity of like what had happened, but he was like, I think like she just didn't realize, like, she's never seen a celebrity before, she doesn't know how to act, like people do stupid shit, and like that's what he was saying at first, but this statement is much more appropriate, I think, for given the circumstance.
Yeah, for her age too. I mean, it's sad. She's never going to forget it.
Bad.
Like, it's just
to think about. That's really, really bad. And like, you do dumb things when you're young, but
we
this
all do.
Is extreme.
And this is kind of like sad too, because if you think about it, when we grew up, we got into technology, but we weren't like this available. Like, we weren't recording as much.
Yeah.
So, I think back like, oh my God, if
That's
stuff was
so
recorded
true.
that I did when I was younger, I'd be like, I'd be on freaking
No, I know,
TikTok,
but like you just
up.
don't know. Yeah, like, and even now, like I see like Facebook statuses that I used to. I mean, the gravity of what we're talking about is deep, and it's not at that level. But like the cringeworthy shit that I see, that like when it comes up on my Facebook memories and time hop, and I'm like, I literally could stab myself in the eye and pour bleach on it.
I was so emotional. I'm like, why am I divulging my feelings to Facebook?
Really? Yes, emotional. All my heartbreak shit was out there, song lyrics, but also just embarrassing weird shit. And then there were things where you used to post like videos on people's Facebook walls. OMG, how embarrassing. But yeah, like this is recorded forever, and it's like that's your legacy.
Yeah. I hope like now that he released that, I feel a little better. Like, shit happens.
Yeah.
Let's move on from it. But of course, his family and all those things, like it's gonna.
I kind of love how he was like, whatever Michael wants to do with this is all on him, and I support it. And that's what you have to do at this point. Like, you have to just like step back, take the L, say she won't be there again. But it's also like, who's going to want to go? Like, it's even embarrassing for like the next person who shows up to go on.
But I didn't know who he was before this. So now
Correct.
It's like.
Correct. But still, that's tough. That is really tough. And Michael Rainey Jr. said he wrote a statement shortly after, and he had left the stream actually after that incident happened. He's like, it was like almost like he uncomfortably like kind of stuck around for a few minutes and then dipped. And he wrote, "At this point, everyone has seen the video circulating online. I am still in shock and don't fully know how to process what happened last night. This is an unfortunate situation that I do not condone in any way. I can't take it lightly because I know I would be in serious trouble if the roles were reversed. Yes. The fact is, sexual assault is never okay, regardless of gender or status. We're all human and we should respect each other. Most importantly, we should always respect ourselves."
Yeah, I mean, that was nicely put. I mean, he was uncomfortable. Like, who wants to go through that?
And the truth is, like, if it were reversed and this were a man, like, people would be out with their pitchforks.
Oh, yeah. Lawsuits.
This would be, like, completely, like, lock this person up. People would be writing about it. And sometimes I feel like when it's a woman, it's like less, even like this is not the same level, but like I was getting a little bit of an ick, God forgive me, with Ariana Grande's new video. She just came out with a video called "The Boy Is Mine" for one of her new songs, which is really good. And in the video,
she can't do it better than the original.
She didn't.
Boy Is Mine. Okay.
She didn't. She didn't remake it.
Okay, good.
She didn't remake it, and she honored the original singers in the video, which was really cool to see because she paid homage to them and respect. But she used like part of the chorus like in her song.
I didn't even know about it. But once you said the title, I was like, wait.
Yes, that's not. Yes, it doesn't sound. It's not the same.
Okay.
It's not like she just did a cover, but she took like inspo from the song, and the chorus like has.
It's a great song.
Yes, a great song, a classic we love. So she redid it. It's a stunning song, but the video was like kind of her giving, like trying to poison someone with this like love potion. Like she breaks into this guy's apartment and she's trying to like poison him to love her. And it's like, oh, it's cutesy and it's silly and it's funny. And she's in a cat mask and you're like, oh, okay. But I'm like, the ick, if that were a man breaking into a woman's apartment, like trying to poison drug a bitch to, you know what I mean? Like I was like, wait, this is kind of uncomfy a little bit.
And you know what it is too? I feel like everyone's judgmental. Like people probably see that and was like, you know, like guys are like, oh, she touched you there, like good for you, like giving him dabs. But it's like it's, you know, the age thing. But even if he was older and that happened, I still think it's messed up. It's not something he wanted. And I agree. I think it's something women need to keep their hands to themselves, just like guys.
Like normalize letting men be uncomfortable in these situations and speaking up, because it happens, but they feel shame.
Exactly.
And they have to feel like, oh yeah, like these girls are on me.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's it's so true and so unfortunate.
Yeah. So we're sorry that happened to you.
Yes.
I bet you she won't do it again.
Yeah, definitely learned her lesson, hopefully.
And I hope she's not getting so much hate too, because she's young, dumb,
she's
you know,
so dumb and young.
I know. And I'm just like, you know, I don't want this to be something that messes with someone's mental health, because they were so stupid. But
she looked creepy too, like the way she was
like,
side of her face came in and she was like, wow, what is this celebrity dick?
It was like a horror film.
Like, what the fuck, bitch? Oh my God, it was a horror
Wasn't
film.
in good taste.
Okay, well, we wish you well, Michael, and we're so very sorry. Okay, next up, Caitlin Clark. She has been taking women's basketball by storm. She was doing record things for the sport. Even when she was in college, she's just now a rookie in WNBA. And they just like released these crazy staggering numbers that like viewership hasn't been the same. It hasn't been at this level in 26 years. Caitlin Clark is you know, she's bound to be a legend. She's absolutely incredible. And people are like crediting her with almost like putting the sport back on the map for women and all that, which, you know, I can understand there's bitter feelings too with a lot of the veterans, and they have been taking it out on her on the court. But it just came out that Caitlin Clark, who is this incredible basketball player, but is very fresh on the court for the WNBA, will not be a part of the women's USA team when they go to the Olympics. She didn't make the cut.
Oh, wow.
So I just feel like because, you know, she is the status that she is the player that she is, like, what is your take on that? Like her not, I mean, and she just graduated and jumped right into the WNBA.
I mean, I think she has time to get there. So it's not, I don't know a lot of women that are in like the NBA. Like I can't name any, but I did hear about this. So it's kind of telling how talented she is.
That's how I feel too. Unfortunately, like I can name some key players very like, and a lot of them are like more famous than just basketball, like for other things, or they have these
unless
deals.
they were like on the news or something.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, the first one that would come to mind for me is like Brittany Griner. Well, duh. Well, you know, we know why. And that's kind of sad, but I feel like there's been this like renewed passion for it. And I know Caitlin Clark, and I can point to a picture of her now. And it's like, so, you know, same with Angel Reese. Like she's been making waves too. She's in the rookie class. And I think they've handled a lot of the attention with grace. And, you know, a lot of the women like beating on them in the court and like unnecessarily like fouling them and doing some shit they shouldn't. But I also think, you know, this is something that can be earned, and she did just get there.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean that the players that have been there are like inferior to her. I think if it was like, okay, this girl is like far beyond any female basketball player they've ever seen, like even existing in the WNBA today, and like there's no question that she should be there, maybe. But like she's doing great, but so are some of the other women.
Yeah. And I think we'll see in a few years, you know, what.
Yeah,
I'm sure her name
pissed.
is not gonna.
Her fans are pissed, and I felt like I'm kind of glad that you're aligned with me. But I thought that I had a bit of a hot take, because I was looking back at the numbers, and their record at the Olympics is 70-3 with wins. So they haven't lost an Olympic game in women's basketball for the USA team since 1992.
Wow.
So it's like, you know, they're doing fine, and she will have her moment to shine.
Exactly.
So, and she spoke out with such grace.
We're rooting for you.
Yes, we are, Caitlin, and we'll see you there in 4 years.
I don't even watch the Olympics, but maybe I will watch it now.
But that's what she's doing. That's why people are arguing, like, look what she's done for the sport. But, you know, we will see her there in due time, and like we're rooting for you for sure.
Exactly. She'll get there.
So we were having a conversation about like book ratings and stuff because you said kind of like when we're picking books for the pod,
I'm a psycho.
like what did you say as far as like how many stars you give a book?
So I will not read a book unless it has at least 4 stars.
Okay.
And I'm a Goodreads person, like Bible. Like I love Goodreads. It can literally be 3.9 and I will not read it.
See, that is a lot for me.
I know. I'm very...
I guess my bar would be a 3. If
Okay.
I see a 3, then I'm like, okay, it's maybe decent. I'll read the description. If I really like it, I'm going to give it that chance. But there's people who feel so passionate about this as far as like supporting authors and things. Like there's like a cult of like the book world that is like, if you like a book and you thought it was decent and there was nothing like treacherous about it, like you should not be rating it a 3. Like if you thought it was a good read and you liked the book and it was decent, like you should be giving it a 4 because these are like, they think of these authors like it's like a small business. Like it's this person who's an entrepreneur and it's their livelihood, and you're sitting there and you're like harshly like, you know what, it was okay, I'm giving it a 3. So like people are like, guys,
I feel like
rating like
books
this.
for me are either a 2, which is like, ugh, but I had to finish it.
But you can't give it a 1.
I can't give it a 1 because it was like, okay, you took time and wrote a book, so let me give you 2 stars.
Okay, so there you go. That's being nice.
And then a 4 and a 5 to me is just like, I enjoyed it. It was good. 5, I couldn't put it down. If you get a 5, I just wanted to like zoom right through it.
Yeah.
4 is like, oh, it was good. I put it down, but like I couldn't wait to finish it kind of thing. 3 is just a waste, like a waste of a space.
Yeah.
It's like too middle.
Oh my God.
It's like not good, not bad.
Yeah.
Like, make up your mind.
Yeah.
Is it a 4 or is it a 2?
Yeah, I hear you. I do hear you. I think I do rate. I definitely have rated 3, 4, and 5s. I don't know that I've ever given anything. Like if I don't like it, I just won't rate it.
And I'm not going to rate it because I didn't
Yeah.
finish it. So
Yeah.
nothing gets a 1 for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel though, like I feel very protective of like, especially with small businesses, because my family, shout out to my mom, Greek Island Grill in
We
New
love
Jersey,
you.
is my mom has the best restaurant ever. I love her. She is beyond talented and incredible. She's a one-woman show in there. And if anyone makes a fucking comment on her like rating, like stupid shit, like somebody brought in a coupon that wasn't even for our business, like somebody went in there like, no, it's for the city, like you can use them anywhere, and like they're trying to argue like using a coupon, and then like we'll give her 1 star, and I like, well, I always look at the emails because like I'm an overbearing mother for my mother too, and I'm like, what is this rating? So I'll click on it, and then I'm like, Mom, what happened? And she's like, this wasn't for here, but I tried to give them a discount anyways, and I showed them this
sweet.
and that, and
my heart.
I told them I'll honor something for them anyways, and I'll give them a free dessert. And I'm like, you fuckers, you gave her what? I'm like, this woman is supporting a family.
I can never
Like,
be a
can
restaurant
you-
owner.
How dare you?
I would go in on people that leave me comments.
Just like if you're gonna leave a comment, if you're gonna leave a review, do it for chains, but really, really, really think twice when you're gonna write about any small business, not just a restaurant, a bookstore, anywhere you go, like and think about it, like if it were your family or somebody, just like having an off moment. Like obviously if something crazy happens to you, like we've all been there.
Yes.
And you gotta leave a
Find
review.
a hair in my food, not happening.
Ooh, that's tough.
But I would say I'm kind of like this with everything, not just books, like restaurants, anything that getting my hair done, picking someone to do my nails, I have to read reviews. I will literally, me and my boyfriend could be on a road trip. We're driving somewhere.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
If I'm on the road and I see a Chick-fil-A has 2 stars, I'm going to make him wait in the car till we get to the next one. That's 3.
Wait.
Like, I will not stop based on, and I know it's a fast food, but I'm like, a Chick-fil-A for 2, no. We need at least, like, I will literally not.
Wait,
I will
that's
wait an hour.
crazy. I've never in my life thought like that, because you would think like this restaurant, like the food there. So I wouldn't be looking at a review for the location, because it's like, okay, you get the grilled chicken nuggets, you know what they taste like, so why do you care?
Nope.
But that's hilarious.
Yep. Like if it's in an area
Why do
that
I feel like you're
going
gonna
to
kill someone right now?
No,
You're like, I'm not fucking going to that one. Keep driving.
Oh.
I don't care if it's out of the way.
People can't stand me. If you pick a restaurant, like I'm looking at the menu before, I'm reading reviews, but I am big on mom and pop places. Like if the food is great, even if it's like they're just starting out, I'm going to leave a review because I want to root for you.
Yes, for sure.
So I get it.
Oh
but
my God.
I'm a psycho. Like,
That's really funny.
I went in one time on a McDonald's because they forgot a sauce. I was so cranky. I was pissed. And it was dead. That's what I was most annoyed about.
Sometimes that can ruin though your whole food. Like if I've ordered a salad before and they forget the dressing. It's like, do you want me to eat the grass? Like I can't eat now. And I've tried to like tell DoorDash that before. Like literally I have no concoction I can whip up in my fridge and now I have leaves on my plate and I cannot eat this food. So I want the full ass refund for the salad because I don't have dressing. How am I supposed to eat it?
I go in on Uber.
Like, hello. Oh, the shit
I currently
tell
have them
Uber,
deleted right now because I'm annoyed at them.
The shit I tell Uber Eats, the shit I tell DoorDash. There's something about also like being behind the screen for it. Like I will get nervous to like be the type of person that speaks up like in person, maybe at a restaurant, unless they're really fucking pissing me off, then I'll talk to a manager. But like if I'm on the phone with customer service, you better not get me because I will be the worst. I will go in, I will say some shit and I will say like, I will bring it there. Like, I'll be like, listen, I hope this never happens to someone in your family.
Oh my God.
Like I will just go in on these people.
I'm
on
talking about like
service.
my food getting cold.
Yeah.
I will be like, I don't want it anymore. They took forever. My driver's driving in
Yeah.
circles. They're confused. I'm like, cancel my order. Get me a new driver. Like,
I'm
and then I'm
dead.
like, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just annoyed.
That's a really
I'm like, I'm
funny.
sorry. You're trying to be helpful, but I'm so effing pissed.
Yeah. That's really
I'm like, I'm
funny.
going to DoorDash. F you guys.
I'm going. That's the funniest thing. Or like, I find it so funny when like, if I'm talking to like customer service and like, let's say I'm talking to AT&T, my mom's in the background saying, tell them you want to close the account. Tell them we're going to go to Verizon. And I'm like, do they really fucking, and she's like, just tell them. And I'm like, Mom, I can't hear. I'm like, I can't hear. But I'm like also sitting there and I'm like, do these people really care that much about like one little girl's cell phone bill to go to the next
I feel
competitor?
bad. With age, I get nastier, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, like, I opened up a new card, and they were like, we need to verify your identity. Can you come into, like, a Bank of America? I'm like, no. I don't want to go in. That's inconvenient. Why can't you ask me questions? Do you want my social? Like, I don't want to come
that's
in.
actually really wild. Also, they stopped printing new cards in branch. So like if you have like something that you're disputing on your card or if you need a new card, they're like, 7 to 10 business days to mail it. Where the fuck am I going to go? What am I going to do for 7 to 10 business days?
Send me a virtual.
Without a card. No, literally, like I don't know how they expect, like what do they want us to do? I'm like, you guys don't print any ones or you can't overnight the card? Like that's really wild.
And I don't even have plans. I'm just like, that's inconvenient.
Oh,
I
but
don't
you
wanna
make
go.
something up.
Yeah.
You're like, I have to leave for a trip and I won't have a card on
Oh, no,
me.
I'm honest. I said that's really inconvenient. I don't want to go to
I
a
lie. I make up the craziest shit. Like I will, God forgive me. Like I'll be like, oh, this my family member got into an accident, and like I have all these bills that aren't mine. I had these charges on my card that were like Home Depot, AutoZone, like all these different like construction and car shops. And I'm like, that's not me. And I'm trying to tell my bank and they're like, okay, ma'am. And they, at one point they like didn't let it go through to like take the charges off. And I'm like, listen, I don't know how to tell you bitches. I'm just a girl. I'm not going to these places. I'll send you a pic, honey. I'm not going.
With these nails?
It's not me.
No, I ain't
It's
building
not
nothing.
me at fucking Home Depot. Okay.
Okay, I have to ask you.
Yeah.
So when you are watching a movie, like
Yes.
I obviously I got to read reviews.
Yeah.
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. I don't care what they think.
Okay.
If they could give something 90 and I don't trust them, I only
I
look
don't
at
trust
audience.
them. Correct.
Audience is all I look at. So I have to, if there's a trailer, I'm going to watch it.
Right.
But sometimes these trailers give the whole thing away and I'm like, now I don't want to watch it.
I agree. I totally agree. I will start to watch a trailer midway. Like if we're playing it, like my boyfriend and I are sitting there, like there's a trailer playing. I'm turn it off. Turn it off. Like, okay, well, let's watch it. I don't want to see anymore because it'll give it away. But if I feel good about it, I won't trust the reviews so much. Like if I actually see a trailer and I want to see it, like I will.
Do you thumbs up or thumbs down on Netflix? Like, do you rate things?
Only will thumbs up.
Yeah, if I really liked it.
Yeah.
I rarely thumbs down unless it really wasted my time.
Yeah, like something crazy wild. Like I'm just trying to, like if we could thumbs down a Saltburn, we probably would.
I think it wouldn't matter. It would still be like so many thumbs up and then just
What is that new? Did you see Baby Reindeer? That was so like
yes,
trending.
that was true. That was his life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you watch that? Okay.
I did, but I liked even more watching her like come forward. Did you see she came forward?
All the
And she
drama
wanted
that
a lot
came
of
from
money.
the
She
show.
was asking for money.
She is wild and crazy. Martha don't stop. Martha don't play.
But he was asking for it. I was
To
like,
be honest, though, that show made me super uncomfortable. Like episode 4 for me was really hard to get through.
Oh yeah.
people were really into it and obsessed, but for
I'm
me, it was
thinking
really hard.
People
to
are getting
watch.
sick, I think.
Yeah, they are.
Because that was sick. Like some of the stuff.
And they're like, this is the best show. Or not even that. People went as far as to be like, episode 4 of Baby Reindeer was the best episode I've seen on television. So artsy. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm feeling for this person. I feel like I could pass out. And I'm like, this is real. And people are like applauding. They're like, what an amazing episode. And I'm just sitting here like, motherfucker, why do you keep going back?
I'm
like,
more embarrassed that he put his life on blast like that. I was like,
and he's like,
you
this
think
is
she's
me.
sick?
You're
sick too.
Literally. Quite literally. Wow.
Yeah. So don't come to me. I mean, if you need recommendations for anything, you know I'm only sending you 4 stars and up, so you don't got to worry about ever having bad experiences.
Yes. Well, that's good to know. You're a reliable source. Speaking of ratings, maybe we should talk about how we're feeling about the next set of chapters for A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. We read chapters 44 to 55 this week.
So I have a love-hate. There's times I love it, like when things are like hot, steamy, great, stuff going on I care about, I'm like with it. Yeah. And then there's parts where I'm like, can we just cut this in half?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know every single thing she's thinking. Just
like, I hear you. I think because it's dragged for so long, but I will say this section of chapters was what I was waiting for. So I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Ugh. But I mean, I was like just waiting for this Rhysand story to play out. And it's like, we're almost done with book 2 and it's dragged for so long that I'm like tired. And I was like, thank God. And it wasn't just.
Yeah, like they finally did it.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's because it was so funny too. Cause I texted you. I was like, I finally got what I needed from this set of chapters. And you're like, they did it. And I'm like, yes, but it was beyond that because it wasn't just that they had sex. It was that we got the full story. They declared their feelings for each other. I love you. And the fact that they're mates and not just like lovers.
They're soulmates, yeah.
The fact, because a mate in their world is far deeper.
It's like some Twilight shit. What is that called?
When you imprint.
Yeah.
Yes. Always got to bring it back to the classic. And I literally was so just like, it checked every box for me, even down to the whole story that we got from Rhysand when he was talking to Feyre about like,
everything.
He walked her through every part of it. We learned that like he was even having visions of her from before she even like when she was a human, before she was even ever in Prythian. Like this was so embedded and deep. And I was like, oh, I couldn't believe every page.
You believed it because I knew Rhys was going to be a great guy. I knew it was all for show. I knew Tamlin was a bad guy.
Yes.
Like I just knew like how protective he was so masculine in a way, like letting her make decisions. He wanted her to fall in love like on her own. Like I respect that. Whereas like Tamlin's very like you're mine.
Yes.
Like I don't like that.
He literally said to her like I want, because she was kind of annoyed for a hot minute about the whole situation, about not knowing, and he's like, no, but I wanted. He's like, I fully would have let you have the wedding if like that's what you want.
I want you happy.
And I was, and he's like, I was just gonna get fucking wasted. So I was like, love you for that. Yeah. And for a second, it was giving like Violet Sorrengail, like it was giving Fourth Wing when it was like, oh, she's annoyed because of the secrets. But what I appreciated in comparison is that for like Fourth Wing, that went on, and it was so stupid because we all understood why things had to be kept secret.
Yes.
That went on for like 2 books. Like here I was like couple pages, I'm fine with it. Like, okay, she processed her feelings and then like gave the ceremonial offering of food, which I loved. And I thought, because like she heard the story and then she was like, I accept the bond.
Yeah.
Like,
and I would say that's kind of like the gist of all the chapters too. But I also like that she's like, listen, I'm with you through war.
Yeah.
Like, we're ready to start a family. We'll do that. I want to enjoy time with you alone first. I'm feeling selfish. And I'm like, finally, like I love something that's so realistic, because that is realistic. He's such a good guy. You fell in love with him. He's a great person. So I'm just like, let's have it. Let's just go on from now. Let's take care of everything else so you guys can have your lovey ending.
Yes. And actually her like the spring court like came for her for a hot second. Like Lucian showed up. They went to the Illyrian war camp in this episode, and he's like, come back to Tamlin, like we'll forgive you, like blah blah blah. And she's just like, no, like I fucking do not even want
and you
this.
didn't even help me either.
Nobody even sat and asked her like, do you like, are you safe here, are you good, is this what you want, we'll let you be.
So do you think Tamlin knows that they were mates? Like, do you think he was rushing to marry her? Because I feel like maybe they can sense when people are like mateable or like, because I wonder if Tamlin knew that really, and he was just wanting to be with her because he knew. I don't know. I feel like
I
there's
never
going to be
thought
more.
of that. I
Yeah.
never thought of that, but I mean, it definitely could be a possibility, but it was like, you have to at least know that it's not right. Like he kind of like forced her into all of this. Like it's almost like trickery because it's like that you were this vulnerable little girl and now you're like forced in through the motions and none of this is by your own choice.
And then we find out Tamlin actually like killed people that are part of like, I mean,
Reese's
they both,
whole family.
Yeah, and then
well, it was like kind of in
reciprocated.
retaliation
Yeah,
back, but Tamlin's responsible for basically killing all of Reese's family. Then we find out, and like Reese ended up just sparing Tamlin at the very end. But
they
like,
used to be friends.
Yeah, and they became High Lords at the same time is something that we also learned.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point when Rhysand was hit with those ash arrows during, I mean, we have seen Feyre also just like really come into her power in this section of chapters, and she like stood up. She was able to like shape shift. She has been channeling all different High Lords and their powers. She winnowed him to a cave to get better. And I thought at first with those ash arrows, like where are they coming from? Are they Tamlin retaliating? But then we learn it was from Hybern.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited though to see. I feel like now we can get over them just like trying to fight the resist,
Yes,
and now they're going to be together.
That was going on for far too long.
Yes, and now we can actually get to the stuff. Now I feel like it'll be exciting. Yeah. It'll be drama. It'll be good.
She did this to us in the last book, like where we were like, okay, we're kind of over it, and then she came in so hot at the end that we were like, you fucking bitch. Now we have to read the next one. We weren't even sure that we were going to read the next one for the pod. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we're really missing here. But I feel like
that was. Well, she's also talked about how like, Nesta and like her sister would like to like live there and all those things. So now I see that as foreshadowing.
You put this in my notes. I shared my book notes with her, and she put my son's big face at the bottom. And you know what? I'm thankful for that.
You're welcome.
I love it.
He's part of it.
See, now I'm feeling my mom guilt again. But yes, I loved the part about just to wrap it up really when they talked about like kids and down the line and how they were like, we're not going to rush it right away, but like fully had that discussion. And he was like, we will explore this in whatever way you want. So we can have the ceremonial like certification of us being mates. We can be husband and wife on top of that or instead of that. And, whatever you're thinking as far as kids, it's not your like duty to have my kids. I would love it. And I was like,
I love him. He's just such a good man.
He really is. Like, who is your favorite book boyfriend? Like, ever, would you say?
Zay Daddy.
Yeah.
I just like his like don't get me wrong, Reese is very sweet, but I feel like Zayden just don't take nothing. Yeah, like he's just like you're my bitch. I just love you. I'm with you. Anything you, but everyone else, fuck them off.
You know what I heard though? I have been feeling some things, and I guess it depends which one you read first. But we read Fourth Wing, that series first, and now reading this, there's a lot of parallel. But then I realized that this one came out way before Fourth Wing, which I didn't know. My cousin pointed that out to me. So I was like, shoot, who's copying who?
It's all been done before, I feel like. Fairies, dragons, like it's not.
Vampires,
like it's all.
That's fair.
And they're all kind of similar. Like, you can't fall in love with the bad guy, but the bad guy ends up being good.
Enemies to lovers.
Yeah. If anyone did it first, it was Twilight.
Oh, yes.
Our girl Stephanie.
Let them know. All right, Sarah, you got big shoes to fill. For next week, we're finishing this book, which is going to be crazy. So read chapters 56 to 69, and we will meet you back here next Wednesday. Amanda, do you want to plug our socials, honey?
If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe. We're also on TikTok and Instagram at Book Please Podcast. Thanks, guys.